Okay, so a couple of things I wanted to talk to you about. The first thing is that we are writing equations for consecutive integers. So if you didn't know how to say that word, it's consecutive. Consecutive means they're numbers that go in order, one right after the other. And integers are just positive and negative numbers. So we're looking for ones that go in a row, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, just numbers that go in order. The first thing you need to know when we're doing consecutive problems is that x is always the first one. So when you're doing consecutive integers, keep in mind that whatever, how did I spell this wrong? Good grief. Whatever the word problem says, x is always the first integer. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and take a look at our first example. Our first example comes from page 180, and we're looking at number 9. If you're wondering where these are coming from, this is where the problem is coming from. That says, the apartments in Vincent's apartment house are numbered consecutively on each floor. So they're numbered in order on each floor. The sum of his number and his next door neighbor's number is 2409. What are the two numbers? So in this question, we're looking for two numbers, two consecutive numbers, whose sum is, and they said 2409. Okay. So we're talking about apartment building, we're talking about the apartments, and we're looking for him and his neighbor. Now the first one is always x, and they only want two of them. So x is the first one, and the second one has to go right after that. So if x is 6, the next door down would be 7. If x is 7, the next door down would be 8. So in order to get the next consecutive number, you've got to add 1 to x. So to get to the second number, we're going to do x plus 1 because consecutive means one right after the other. Okay? The other key term that you need to know, and they use the word sum. The sum means that you're going to add them. So we're going to add up the first one and the second one, and that's going to give us our total of 2,409. Okay? So our equation that we're going to write for our two consecutive numbers, our first one is always x, the second one is 1 right after that, so that's x plus 1. We're going to add these up and set it equal to 2409. There's our equation. Now we have to solve it. Okay, so we have x plus x, and that's going to give us 2x. Bring down your plus 1 equals 2409. Now we're going to solve this for x. So we're going to get our constant over to the left. From the left to the right. Good grief. And isolate our variable. And 2409 minus 1 is 2408. And then we're going to divide both sides by 2. And that gives me 1,204. So this means that my first number is 1204. That's the first door number in the hallway. The second number, or the second door, is going to be 1 right after that. So 1,204. The next one is going to be 1,205. It's just one bigger than that. And to verify that we did this correctly, if on the side over here, we decide we just want to peek and see if it actually does add up to 2,409, add them up on the side. This gets 9. There's a 4. There's a 2. Boom. It works. Okay? So our answer to the question, what are the two consecutive numbers of doors whose sum is 2409, X is the first one. X plus 1 is the second one. We're going to add them up, set it equal to the total. Solve for X. 1204 is the first door, and 1205 is the second door.